Okay, so imagine this. You take something that's basically worthless. We're talking agricultural waste that farmers usually just burn, and you turn it into a verifiable, bankable asset. That is the incredible promise of a new technology called HempGrade AI. And in this explainer, we are going to break down exactly how it works. You know, this quote right here, it gets to the absolute heart of the problem. See, poverty often isn't about not having things. It's about not having a way to prove you have them. Think about it for a second. If you own land or you have a harvest, but there's no formal record of it, well, to a bank on the other side of the world, it's like it doesn't even exist. Your assets are basically invisible. And the scale of this invisible wealth, it's just staggering. The economist Hernando de Soto calls this stuff dead capital, and he estimates it's worth over $9 trillion. That's a global economic engine bigger than most of the world's stock markets combined, just sitting there, completely stalled out, waiting for someone to turn the key. So let's make this real. Picture a farmer in rural Uganda. She's got tons of leftover hemp stalks after a harvest. To her, it's just waste, something to get rid of. To a bank in New York, it's less than worthless. It doesn't even register. That right there, that's dead capital, a real-world asset that is completely locked out of the global economy. The key phrase here is verifiable record. It's not that people don't have valuable things, it's that they lack the system to prove their value. A verifiable record, that's what turns a house into collateral for a loan or a harvest into the capital you need for next year's seeds. Without it, you can't build wealth. You're just economically stuck. So how in the world do you fix a problem that big? Well, you build a bridge. Not a physical one, but a cyber-physical one that connects that farmer's field directly to the financial system. And this is where HempGrade AI's technology comes in. It's actually a stack of 3 distinct layers. First up, you've got the vision layer. Let's call it the eye. Think of it like Shazam, but for agriculture. A farmer just uses their regular phone's camera, the AI scans a bale of hemp, and instantly, it analyzes its density, its moisture, its quality. This totally replaces the need for a slow, expensive human auditor to come out. Boom, it's an instant digital appraisal. Okay, next is the physical layer, the anchor. Now, this is how you build trust in the system. The graded bale gets fed into a smart gasifier, which is basically a small-scale power plant, and it burns the waste to create usable energy for the local community. But here's the crucial part. Sensors inside that machine verify that the bale was actually destroyed. This creates a digital proof of destruction, which is honestly a brilliant way to solve the fraud problem. You can't sell the same bale of hemp twice if it's already been turned into electricity. And finally, we have the settlement layer, or the wallet. So once the AI and the hardware both confirm the asset is real and has been consumed, a piece of code called a smart contract automatically kicks in. It runs on a blockchain, think of it as a tamper-proof digital ledger, and it instantly creates a brand new financial asset, a bioenergy credit, and deposits it right into the farmer's digital wallet. So I know that might sound a little complex behind the scenes, but for the farmer using it, the whole thing is designed to be incredibly simple. The entire process is boiled down to a 3-step workflow they call snap to settle. And it really is as simple as it sounds. You scan the asset with your phone. You burn it in the local energy machine. You earn a liquid credit that shows up as cash in your wallet. It takes you from physical waste sitting in a field to digital cash in your hand. And this, right here, this is the absolute game changer. The entire process, from that initial scan to getting cash, takes less than 60 seconds. For a farmer who might otherwise have to wait weeks or even months for payment, or maybe never get it at all, this is nothing short of revolutionary. It's the difference between having what you need to survive today and just living in perpetual uncertainty. Okay, so you can have the most amazing technology in the world, but it needs a great business model to actually scale and make a difference. HempGrade AI is built on what they call the infrastructure flywheel, which is a model designed to be self-sustaining and create a really powerful network effect. At its core, the whole thing is a 2-sided market. On one side, you have the farmers, say in Uganda, who are supplying to agricultural waste. On the other side, you've got the buyers. These are large corporations and investment funds around the world that need to buy legitimate, audited environmental credits to meet their big sustainability goals. You might hear these called ESG targets. HempGrade AI is literally the bridge that connects them. So the platform makes money in 3 ways, and this is what creates that powerful flywheel. First, it takes a tiny minting fee for every single bale it's scanned. That's a high-volume, low-margin business. Second, it takes a bigger percentage fee when those credits are sold in bulk to the big institutional buyers. But this third part is the genius of the model, what they call the DeReticular play. The more farmers use the free app, the more demand there is for the actual physical hardware nodes in their villages. The software creates the market for the hardware, which creates this self-reinforcing loop of adoption. It's pretty smart. All right, so with that business model in mind, let's zoom all the way out and look at the total market potential here. The company sees this playing out in two stages: the immediate addressable market and then the massive long-term vision they're really aiming for. So the immediate serviceable market, just focusing on hemp and waste to energy, is already a huge $64 billion opportunity. But really, that's just the starting line. The real prize, the visionary goal, is that entire $9.3 trillion in dead capital we talked about at the beginning. The plan isn't just about hemp. It's about creating a blueprint to digitize all unbanked assets. So let's just tie this all together. Why does this matter? Well, this system turns waste into wealth. It gives instant cash to the unbanked. It creates trusted, auditable assets for global finance. It's even built with privacy in mind, using advanced cryptography called zero-knowledge proofs, which lets the system verify a farmer's data without ever revealing the private data itself, which is absolutely critical in regions where data privacy is a huge concern. It's a rare example of a system that truly aligns the goal of helping to alleviate poverty with a scalable, profitable business model. And that brings us to the final question. You see, this technology starts with hemp in Uganda, but the blueprint, that could apply to almost anything: minerals in the Congo, timber in Brazil, artisan crafts in Peru. So I'll just leave you with this thought. What happens to our global economy? What happens to the world when every single physical asset on Earth can be instantly verified and monetized?